Hi everyone, it is Travel Talk Tuesday and my name is Lauren and we're going to be doing questions and answers on Travel Talk Tuesday. So if you have any questions that you would like answers to, message them to me. You can drop them in the comments now. So if you are watching now and you have questions, just drop a Q in the chat and I will try to answer it live now. And if not, I will research it and I will bring you that answer next week. So Travel Talk Tuesday between noon and 1 p.m. Central Time. Again, answering your questions about travel. So I have a set of questions that other people have asked and wanted to know. So let's go over some of these questions. You might be having the same questions as well. Okay, how far in advance did you book a cruise? A lot of people ask this question. And you can book them out 12, 18 months, even 2 years out. That gives you more time to be able to split up the payments because you can pay monthly after a deposit to be able to fit that into your budget. And of course, the earlier, the better opportunity for being able to get the particular rooms that you might want without them being taken or filled up. So 12 months is usually a good sweet spot, but again, you could book up to 2 years. And if you want those deals where they're wanting to fill up the boat because they haven't sold everything, you can always check last minute to see if there are some specials or some deals as they are trying to finish up their inventory and get that ship booked. So it depends on what you're looking for. If you know that you want a particular deck or you want a particular cruise, you want a particular room, well, the earlier the better. If you want to be able to split up those payments over a longer period of time, then the earlier the better. But if you're looking for something quick and easy, a lot of times if you wait till 2 or 3 months before, you're not going to find anything besides maybe a guarantee room. What that means is you're guaranteed a particular type of room, but you don't get to pick where it's at. They pick it for you. That way they can fill up those rooms that aren't quite as desirable, which could be a room that has a partially blocked balcony. It could be a room that for whatever reason, it's on the back of the boat and they don't want that or whatever. So those guarantee rooms, you might be able to get them a little bit cheaper, but also at the beginning of the year is wave season. Wave season is when many of the cruises put their inventory they have specials that they run. And the way to really know about what the specials are is to be hooked up to a travel agent or a travel advisor, because we as travel advisors, we get all of these hot deals, all of these specials, all of these sales coming into our inbox. So we can alert you if you're looking for something in particular. We can alert you to whatever the deal is. So if you want a particular cruise line, we can be looking to see what that particular cruise line's deals are. So those are some things to think about when booking a cruise. What else? What other questions do we have? So how far in advance should someone book flights and what are the best days? Well, again, it depends on what you're doing, whether you're going domestic or whether you're going overseas to Europe. If you're going to Europe, usually booking them out farther in advance is better. When you are trying to book flights, here's a little tip. The more that you check on that flight, the more the algorithm is going to think, oh, this is a popular flight. And actually, flight prices are, what's the word? They change depending on how popular that flight is. So you could see that one day the flights are at this price. The next day it goes up because you've checked on that price so often that it thinks, oh, this is popular. We can price it higher. So when you're checking for flights, do it in incognito or ask a travel advisor to do that for you, and you won't have that happen to you. What else? Oh, what travel documents do you need when traveling? So for travel in the US, you're going to need that Real ID that they are pushing, that has that little real thing on your driver's license or your government ID. So you're going to need that. If you're going to other countries, of course, you're going to need your passport. And here's the thing with your passports. You always have to see, it is a requirement for a lot of countries that that passport is still good 6 months after you finish your travel. So if it expires 2 months after, they can deny you. They can stop you from going in. So you want to make sure that your passport is good for at least 6 months past when you want to travel. Okay. And then also, one of the new things that the European countries are starting to implement is this new system, and it is, what is it called? It is the European Travel Information and Authorization System. So this is a new travel system that is trying to help the European countries to be able to travel between each other with less hassle with the passports and things like that. So they are implementing this year, probably later this year. So make sure that you ask your travel advisor if these are something that you are going to need to fill out. There is some paperwork that you fill out to be able to, it's an online application, and it's supposed to be valid for like 3 years, but you want to check to see when this system is going to be in effect for whatever country you are going to and when you are going, and have your travel advisor look into that to make sure if you're going to need that or not as they're implementing these things. Also, whenever you are traveling to other countries, foreign countries, always check the government website to see what countries are possible off limits, or they are restricting. I wouldn't say restricting, but you could say restricting. But those countries that maybe the U.S. is saying is not a good idea to travel to. So always be checking those government websites, and I can put those or put that in the comments here if you would like. Just drop me a G for government or a gov for government, and I will put that in there or send that to you. But you can always have your travel advisor check on that for you as well to make sure the place that you are traveling is safe, that there are no restrictions or warnings about being or going to that country. So those are some things to be thinking about. Let's see. Another question is, okay, so what one important travel planning tip that a travel agent makes easier? So those that don't really ever use a travel advisor and you're wondering, why should I use a travel advisor? This is what I can tell you. A travel advisor is going to be knowledgeable in where you're going, or at least know how to research where you are going to find out information that maybe you wouldn't have thought of, that you're not aware of, or know how to get. A travel advisor, a good one, is going to be making sure that you have your passport and that it is good 6 months after the fact. Travel advisor is going to make sure that where you're going doesn't have any restrictions or warnings. A travel advisor is also going to have access to deals and sales that come into our inbox that we may be able to in turn give to our clients who are traveling to those places, or maybe being able to recommend traveling to or staying at a particular hotel where they're going because they see that there is a deal at that hotel. We're also going to be looking at your need for travel insurance, and that takes me to another question. A lot of people ask about travel insurance. So there are different ways to get travel insurance. Your airline ticket can offer you travel insurance. Usually that just covers something that happens at the airline itself and nothing else. A lot of times your cruises are going to offer you travel insurance. So make sure you know what that cruise insurance is going to cover. A lot of times it only covers things that happen, say, on the cruise, not on your way to the cruise, not if something happens that prevents you from getting on the cruise, things like that. So I can share with you a story. There was a lady that a friend of mine had booked their cruise, a person that she wasn't new to go to cruising at all. She cruised quite a bit, and she was going to be flying into the port where her cruise was going to be leaving from. And these there's two mistakes that I'd like to point out. Now, do these happen all the time? No. Do you want to risk it? You surely can. Flying into the port that you're leaving from on the day that your cruise is leaving is not a good idea. Could you fly in the day and still make the cruise? Probably, but not always. And two, having that travel insurance, if you are paying thousands of dollars to go on a cruise, let's make sure that that money is protected, because you never know what's going to happen. On this particular lady, she did not have travel insurance, and she was flying in on the day of her cruise sailing. And what happened was she should have arrived hours and hours ahead of time, but something happened to the plane, and the plane was delayed for hours and hours. Whatever the situation was, she was delayed hours. And so when she finally arrived at the port, her ship had just sailed away. And she did not have travel insurance. She was not able to get any money back or refunded. She was just out the money. Now, of course, our travel advisor had suggested the travel insurance, but, we can't make people buy travel insurance, and she declined. So these are some things. You never know when a plane is going to be delayed for a mechanical reason or whatever. Then also, when you are out, say, you are in the Caribbean, you're in Mexico, wherever you're at, you never know, or, it could happen that a tropical storm comes in and you need to evacuate early. So having that travel insurance is going to make changing those tickets and those things a lot easier for you. So a travel advisor surely can point these things out. And these are good reasons to have travel insurance, because again, you never know what Mother Nature's going to do. You never know what the politics and governments of different countries are going to do, or like we've seen recently with different gangs and things like that in these foreign countries, things that happen that end up delaying airlines, rerouting airlines, making cruises pass up the ports, all these different things. You just never know these days. So look into travel insurance. Especially if you're going overseas, because our health care that we may have here in the U.S. is not going to cover you when you're over there in the European countries. Now, I know some people have certain benefits with their credit cards, but make sure you know what those things cover. Okay, so these are good reasons to have travel insurance. So those are some of our questions that I wanted to answer for you this week. If you have questions that you want answered, please drop them in the comments so that I can prepare them for next week, or send you a private message, or private message me your questions, and I will be happy to answer them, get back to you, and maybe even shout you out on one of these lives, or just answer that question because it comes in a lot. So I'm excited for this new series, Travel Talk Tuesday with Lauren. And I hope that it provides value for you. I hope that you learn something from it. And I hope that every trip you take is an amazing trip. And I hope that you use your travel advisors to help make sure that your trips are amazing. So until next Tuesday, y'all have an amazing week. Travel safe and enjoy.